About obscure stage shows. You obviously would have known about Wallace and Gromit alive on stage in a grand night out, with footage that had many views on social media. However, there is another stage show that has only had official photos, but it has not been possible to have seen actual video footage until these days. In this video/documentary, Numberjacks in their first live mission, saving brain gain! To start off with, let's explain the show. Numberjacks was a childhood show from the late 2000s by Open Mind Productions, which are made document about in the future, which was produced for the BBC/CBeebies, airing from 2006 to 2015, and season 1 aired on Tiny Pot, where from 2013 to 2016, and they skipped parts of an episode. The format will be anthropomorphic alphanumerical race living in a secret base that is a couch who stop problems in their area via brain gain, mostly caused by meanies. What it could be infamous for in your childhood is for how it scared you, mainly the meanies. For me, it was the problem blob, since he felt realistic, has no eyes but a mouth, and the eye comforted me when it came out. Who scared me least was the number taker, because he was real, which would be the reason you were scared. And did you notice? The DVDs were distributed by ITV! 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 Oh, I shall shut up about that, because I have to focus on what happened in late 2011. The stage show! The show was entitled Their First Live Mission, Saving Brain Gain, but it did not seem entirely great. Had a pantomime format, meaning hilarious interaction and some educational parts as well. I was met with more information of it on Reddit via a user named DeliciousCup7487, who wanted to get into the information as well. He found the education pack PDF file via the Wayback Machine, and so did I. So, let's look at the characters and plot. The stage show stars the Numberjacks 1, 3, not portrayed by Alice Baker, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The meanies include Spooky Spoon, who was a puppet being done by Black Effect, and the Number Taker, not portrayed by Ross Mullen. Our two main ones are the cleaner, whose name is Jamie, not portrayed by Rob Fertile, and the waitress, whose name is Astra, not portrayed by Zahara Brown. In fact, the script was written by Chris Ellis himself. Now, let's get into the plot. Sorry that I cannot include text, so you are going to have to listen to my voice and put captions on. The first 30-minute part starts off with Jamie and Astra looking after the set, but they are doing things wrongly. It was Spooky Spoon, mixing things up. Jamie is then asked to phone the main Numberjacks, who appear on that big screen, so they will send one of themselves out. That Numberjack is 4. While 4 will be coming, Jamie is also asked to line up numbers so that 4 can land right. However, it is too late. There is a crash and 4 comes as some mascot costume, who does not speak and would be given directions. Spooky Spoon returns and brain gain must be used to make Spooky nicer, but Jamie gets too much of it. He is too nice and must be restored to normal. After that act is a 15-minute interval. The second half is Jamie needing to count up to 4, with the audience for 4 to come back, but he does not. The Numberjacks must send another one to help. That Numberjack is free. Astra reels her free from the trolley, and out she comes as a human girl for some reason, being shocked at her extra bit, which are our hands and legs. Free must find Jamie, and he is turned out in a 4 shape. Somebody's talking fours. Obviously, that is the number taker, who sings his own song. Astra and Free realise this. We must all discover all fours to get back Jamie and 4. Whilst Jamie was safe from his number sucker-upper, 4 gets trapped in the net. We get one more Numberjack to save the day. She is Numberjack 1, but 7 is operating Brain Gain. Brain Gain has gone everywhere but where they and the audience are, who have the last bit of Brain Gain left. With good thinking, such as knowing that 1 plus 3 is 4, now that is good sense, to defeat the number taker, with everything restored back to normal. Everybody sings the Getting Brain Gain Now song and depart excitedly, knowing that they saved the world. What was the most important part of this video/documentary was the footage. Delicious Cup 7487 on Reddit mainly found it on Facebook from the account of somebody named Nessie Robb. The scenes consist of when Free comes out and the final song. He also remembers the Number Taker song, but it got deleted. One that I found myself was from Phil Gardner on YouTube with his daughter watching the stage show while it happens off camera, and was singing a parody of the 12 Days of Christmas, given that it was in December where Christmas time would start. Now, let's watch those clips.
It's Numberjack 3! It's Numberjack 3, of course. What's that? It's your hand. Right. A hand? What's that? That's your other hand. Another hand. To have one hand is bad enough. To have 2 hands is ridiculous. Numberjacks don't have any hands. Well, it looks like Jamie's been turned into a sort of number.
Vanished out of sight. It was up to us together to try and have it next. We don't need to fight the rocket, just what to do. Because what's here and now, nothing will take over the world. You'll get the brain now.
extra bits. Other people's reviews. Please read for yourself, and you can pause them to read them more properly. Now, the Numberjacks website itself showed up an optimistic review on Mummy Space. There was also a comments section, which I could not load up, but I could click on this. Unfortunately, it is hard to read as JavaScript, so just like the plot of the show, I will read them aloud in numbers, and you're gonna have to listen to me and the captions. Comment number 1. Possibly the worst kids show I've ever witnessed. In comparison to Pantos, Gruffalo, Night Garden, etc., this was a shoddy, pathetic attempt at putting one of the best kids' TV shows on stage. Our children loved the show, but found this to be boring and were really upset the show did not feature all the Numberjacks. This should clearly be stated on the show information at the time of booking. Complete waste of money. I will not be recommending and would rather buy the D and watch the TV show at home. Comment number 2. We saw this yesterday at Dunstable, and I have to say, even though we were incredibly, unbelievably excited, came away feeling a bit deflated. Luckily, our 22-month-old seemed to really enjoy it and was full of participation, which was lovely and did make it worthwhile. However, I do agree with some of the comments insofar as it seemed farcical to have a show called Numberjacks Live and to only have 2 of them on stage, especially as they didn't even talk. Although Astra and Jamie did an alright job of keeping the kids entertained, the lack of real storyline and plot was as disappointing as the distinct lack of Numberjacks. I understand that it's always going to be difficult to bring a computer-generated kids program on the stage. I do honestly think with a clear, concise storyline, similar to an episode, and some puppetry / animatronics and a clever but not elaborate set, this could have been much better. I also believe that had my daughter been older, she may not have enjoyed this as much. And normally me and my children love surreal stuff. The weirdness of number 3 was bizarre and not a good interpretation of a Jack / human mix-up. And I'd taken my kids to see the Mighty Boosh and all sorts of weird stuff before. Overall, it was a bit pants, but at least the baby loved it. And for all the show lacked in plot and story, it made up for it in enthusiasm. Oh, the theatre had also ran out of merchandise, which sucked. Comment number 3. I saw this new show in Glenrose with my husband, 3-year-old son and 7-year-old daughter. We all thoroughly enjoyed it despite the show being disrupted just after the interval by a fire evacuation. It very professionally took this in their stride, so much that the audience initially thought the announcement to evacuate was part of the act. My boy was enthralled throughout and quietly joined in during audience participation. He loved the Numberjacks 1 and 4, as well as number 3 into human form. Listen carefully, mums and dads. This is simply explained and perfectly acceptable to young Numberjacks fans. In fact, he said number 3 was his favourite. When on CBeebies, it is always number 4 he liked. Since the show, he often makes a number 4 shape with his arms. Very educational, although I wouldn't recommend this show for 2-year-olds, as the ones in the audience seemed scared by the number taker and several were crying whenever he came on. Unless of course your 2-year-old loves watching Numberjacks on TV. It's ideal for children aged 3 and up. Before booking, I wondered whether my daughter would find the show too babyish, but she loved it. Could understand the whole story and the waitress and janitor from the... Enjoyed joining in the panto style effects. It was nice to include the waitress and janitor from the TV series, and my daughter really liked them as well as the actress playing number 3. She thought the actresses were beautiful. Indeed, all the actors were very attractive with very clear speech, making them easy to understand. Thought all the costumes were appropriate and looked good. The set was busy enough for young children. Young viewers are focusing on the characters for the most part, so I personally wouldn't have wanted a more fussy or elaborate looking stage. The mix of actors in costumes and the screen so that we could tell those back in the couch that are going wrong was just right. The only criticism I have is that at times the dialogue went on a little too long and I felt it didn't run as smoothly as other theatre productions aimed at a young audience. However, that is just teething problems in a new show and did not detract from the enjoyment. I did not receive free tickets and my opinion is my own and is unbiased. Though I am a Numberjacks fan, I think Numberjacks is the best educational program for young children that teaches maths concepts and maths language. It's possible that my children enjoyed this show even more because they know the program's format, but I think children who have not seen the program would still enjoy the stage show. Comment number 4. I have to agree with the OP. Whilst this show, which we saw at Southend, was hardly BAFTA material, our 3-year-old son loved every minute. Yes, some of it is bizarre, some of it quite unexplainable. The numbers are shoddy and the lack of Numberjacks a shame. However, kept our son fully enthralled, and I would wager that many parents do not object to the likes of Baby Jake and many other programs that are based on a level that many of us adults really don't get. At the end of the day, the only objection was the persistence of the Southend management to disallow photographs, which they did at Fireman Sam. I really don't think my boy will be using them to market his own material. The show's not stunning, but enthusiastic and worth a 7 out of 10. Comment number 5. Totally disagree. I think the show was a fantastic translation of an animated computer-generated television program to stage. There is always a mix of people and Numberjacks on the television episodes, and you only ever see a few of the Numberjacks in any one episode, so I was not surprised that we did not see all 10 numbers on stage. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but my proof of how successful the show was is my son's reaction to it. He loved it. There's always strange things happening in the Numberjacks television shows, so while Numberjack 3 may have been a bit surreal, I think if you can abandon your adult logic for a moment and use your imagination, you will see it's just another spin on how the meanies such as Spooky Spoon and the Number Taker cause havoc. Comment number 6. We have just returned from watching the Numberjacks at King's Lynn. We were very disappointed with the show. As regular theatre goes with the children, this was the worst shows we have booked to see. The children were sad not to see more of the Numberjacks. And who were these 2 people on stage? Where are they in the real Numberjacks show? And for number 3 to suddenly have a person come out of after being pushed on a trolley is a joke. This is not what the Numberjacks is about. If I were you, you would save your money for a better show. Comment number 7. I've just taken my 3-year-old to see it with some friends and we thought it was utter rubbish. In less than a minute of the show, starting the person in front of me had to leave as a little girl was traumatized by the number taker and was really distressed. The stage set is shoddy. The only Numberjacks on stage are 4 and 1. Numberjack 3 is wheeled on stage on a trolley and kind of gives birth to a pink person with the Numberjack then being wheeled off on its trolley. I didn't have high expectations. but the show didn't even live up to these. Comment number 8. Can't believe we stole the same show. Thought it was terrible. The whole point of going to see the Numberjacks was to actually see Numberjacks for my children. Was very disappointed that only 2 were on stage, numbers 4 and 1, and also disappointed in the state of the costumes. Tatty, dirty and ripped. I honestly thought it was no better than an amateur school performance. Comment number 9. It was fantastic. Ben is still talking about Numberjack 4 and Spooky Spoon. In fact, he never stops. Comment number 10. Saw this show in Aldershot. I thought it was great and my 2-year-old girl loved every second. Thumbs up from me. Comment number 11. I think the creators of the show did a fantastic job to bring what is a program which relies heavily on computer-generated animation to stage. This is certainly not an easy or straightforward job and cannot be compared to other shows such as The Tweenies, which translate a lot easier to theatre as they are basically just people in costumes. I agree Numberjack 3 was a bit surreal, but I guess as with many children's shows, you have to abandon adult logic and let your imagination take over. In the Numberjacks, things get mixed up and all the time, and this, in my opinion, was just another spin on it. Comment number 12. Saw same performance at reading on Saturday, sadly quite disappointed. During the first half of it took a long time before the Numberjacks came on, and there were some children who were asking where they were. Some parts were good in the second half, especially when the number taker came on. Numberjack 3 was strange and confusing and very screechy. My 3-year-old seemed to enjoy it, but think the mathematical side of things were lost, and I found myself cringing at times at the script. Love Fireman Sam, Going on a Bear Hunt, Tweenies recently, but this I could not recommend this. Now, how about I say my thoughts? It was lovely to have a go with setting a TV show like this on stage. Being some pantomime format, there are many improvements I could commit to, such as it was cool seeing Numberjacks being transformed into people. How about 3, 4, 5 and 6 all came together and transformed into people during the first act? I can always be great about the mascot costume being 1. Keeping things hilarious. How about they could 5 meanies instead of just 2? Or maybe just not the 5 meanies, but 1 OG. Well, it seems that I said everything of the stage show, which was the last to come from the franchise. What did you think? Did you see the stage show? If so, what was your experience? Goodbye for now.
I'll be going home, but you can bet it's not for long, and I'm gonna